Good afternoon, my name is Jody and welcome to Tipsy Tuesday. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jody and I will be your host today, and I'm here with my producer, Mr. GP. Say hello to the crowd out there. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Tired, but good. Okay, guys. Well, we have quilts on set. So I have this amazing quilt behind me called Quadrants, and we'll be talking about that fabric later on in the show. And I have a little Winnie. Oh, which direction am I in? This way. Little Winnie there. She is one of our Little's patterns that will be coming out here in the near future. And behind Mr. GP,
Gotta have Gigi.
I had to put it up there for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're new, back new to our producing crew, and I'm like, you know, I gotta do. Plus, I think it'll look cool with our fabric today. Mm-hmm. So last week I asked you a question. What is your favorite upcoming holiday after we pass Labor Day? Hi, Kim. And your answer was?
I think I said Christmas. Oh, I talked about Thanksgiving too.
Yeah. I said Christmas, though I haven't been all that into Christmas. You know, when you don't have little kids running around, it's a little bit harder to get into the Christmas spirit, you know. Someday I'll get some little kids running around. Mm-hmm. But we did have a winner, and the winner is Becky Rico. Becky, congratulations. She said her favorite is Christmas. Love being with family and friends. I think that's probably my favorite too.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. Becky, if you can send an email to help@gequiltdesigns.com, we will get you your little gift. So today on Tipsy Tuesday is a dangerous block 8, you guys. So we're going to do the tip of the day.
Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs, home of the Stripology ruler. The Dangerous Block of the Month was inspired by my love for scraps, and in particular, using them up and making something beautiful. Also, I love listening to mystery books when I sew. So let's dive into this block of the month. This block is dedicated to Tracy Crosswhite. Now, this series is written by Robert Degoni. Tracy is a Seattle homicide detective, a very tough one, driven by the murder of her sister. So let's take a look at Tracy's block. First off, make sure to print out your pattern. It's going to be on 5 pages. I just want to explain the cutting a little bit. We have 2 background cutting based on if you're using a single background or if you're using scraps. So all the letters marking the pieces are the same in both these, so only use one. And then we have the colored scraps over here, and all the pieces are numbered from 1 through 4. So first off, let's take a look at my pieces. I cut all my background and colored pieces. They're all numbered and labeled with my organizing stickers and clips. Diving right into step number 1, we are going to be making strip sets for both steps. I have my strip set from step 2 above in the gray and below in the red. So once you have those done and of course subcut, we're going to dive right into step number 3, where we are taking the wider cuts from the step 1 set and also same size of the step 2 sets, and we're gonna sew 2 of them together. Let's turn them this way. So you're gonna sew 2 pieces like that together, and then all we're gonna do is turn them. We're pressing opposite directions. We're gonna turn them to create that block, that spinning block in the center. Seams are going to nest right here, and we're gonna stitch this part and then press this by spinning the seams. So pressing to the right, left, and then we press it all different ways according to the pattern. So let's set these ones aside. Then we're going to move right into step number 4, which is going to be using the rest of the step 2 units. We're going to be sewing them, turning one to sew into exactly this unit here. And then we're going to add the step 1 shorter or narrower pieces to each side, creating that stagger of the background staggering up like this. So once these are sewn together and pressed, we are taking background rectangle C, and we're going to sew that on each side. Of course, these are going to be shorter after they're sewn together. So that makes us a unit that looks like this. So we're going to be making 4 of these that are going to be coming out from the center of the block. So once we have these done, we are ready to move on to step number 7, creating the corner blocks. So starting with our 1.5 inch fabric C squares, number 4, we are going to sew them on each side of that background rectangle B. So we're going to sew them this side, and we're going to press outwards, and you're going to repeat that with all of your colors. So all of your colors B through, C through J. C, fabric C through J. So we're creating lots of those, 8 different ones. And then moving on into the next step, we're going to be sewing a same color, same fabric to one side like this, and then we're going to press outwards. So creating, again, 8 different ones, just like this. From there, I'm just going to turn the piece so we can make it look exactly like the pattern. Always really good when you're wondering which way to sew things. Always look at the pattern and orient your pieces the same way. So then we're going to take our background square A and sew that to the side over here. Repeat that with all of your units and then set them aside. We are going to create the center of our corner blocks, and for that we're going to use, you're going to have to know which 2 of these you're going to pair together. So here I have these 2, I'm going to pair these together. So I'm going to just hold on to this one. So that means I need the rectangle from both colors, and you're going to need a square from both colors. And so then really just look at the illustrations. So we're going to start with one here. We're going to sew a background square here, and then the opposite color goes on the other end. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to do the same, but it's easier to actually turn it around because that's how they're going to then get sewn together. So just like this, it's the same thing, rectangle, background square, and then opposite color square, just like it is here. Once these are sewn together, you are going to join them just like that. Sew them together just like that, and press one direction. So you're going to have 4 different blocks that we're making, so 4 pairs of this. So keep going until step number 12 is assembling the block. So I'm going to scooch this over here. So this, of course, is not sewn together, so it's going to look a little bizarre. Just a little bit. Actually, it's going to be looking more like this. Like this. And then here's the opposite. So then we sew this part together. We're going to press towards those center pieces. And then this guy goes on the bottom, which creates those 2 interlocking squares in our block. And so you're going to repeat that for 4 different blocks for the 4 corners. So this one is 1. And now all we got to do is just assemble the block together. So I'm going to scooch this back over here. This is going to be my corner block down here. Just don't mind things being a little bit wonky because they're not sewn together yet. You get the idea. So we're going to arrange the blocks to be in whatever order we want it. So I think I'm going to do some kind of a fun little play on the color because I've got 2 blocks that are blue and brown and 2 that are green and purple. So you can either have them opposite or arrange them any way you want. So then we're going to put this spin block here in the middle that are sewn together. And then we fill in the blanks with our first units. These units were from step 7. Here in between. And as you can see, these should nest here with the center. And then of course my last one goes down here. It's not sewn together. I assemble them first in rows this way, and I press away from the center here towards the center on these 2, and then join all the pieces and press away from that center, and that finalizes my block. Now here is another version of the block, all sewn together with a dark background.
I love the dangerous block of the month. I had not heard of Tracy Crosswhite, so while we were here, I was like Googling the name because I'm always looking for a good, inspiring murder mystery book. So if you get a chance, take a look at Tracy Crosswhite. It sounds very interesting. So, as everybody knows, Gudrun and Mr. HP are still on vacation, and I'm still jealous that they're somewhere fun and having a good time, but well deserved. And they sent us a picture and a message, and they said, we just arrived at Sorrento and checked into our apartment for our last few days on vacation exploring the Amalfi Coast. And look at that. That's so gorgeous.
They're having a blast.
They are having a blast.
Yeah, checked in with them a couple times, and they're living it up.
Living it up.
Good
for them. Yeah, they deserve it. They work hard when they're here. So, all right. So I wanted to send a reminder out that the retreat, the last day to order retreat boxes is Monday, September 29th. So what that means is after Monday, September 29th, you will not be able to order a retreat box. And part of that is so that we can get them made and sent out to you in time for the retreat, which is on the 18th, and the second session is on the 22nd. So what I want to do quickly is just go through the bundles that we actually still have available so you kind of have an idea of what's available. And the first one is Conway Cottage. The second one is Acorn Hollow, Sketchbook, Industrial Imprints, Insectarium. This one's my favorite because I made it. On Your Mark, Creative Landscapes, Tangerine, Ruby Bee, and Simply Cozy. So these are the retreat fabrics we have available still. So if you're interested in joining us for the one-day retreat, please purchase your box and your virtual by the 29th of September. And if you have already bought a retreat box, throw it in the comments so we can see who's actually going to join us for that. The other, you have your retreat box order. All right, Kat. So I know that when people do the retreats, they meet long-lasting friends, even virtually. So don't be afraid if you haven't done it before. Everybody is super nice and super welcoming, and it's a really fun day. So we're really excited about this.
It's always so much fun.
It is. It's fun to even just be like sitting in the background on the Zoom watching everybody talk, and you're like, wow, you think they've known each other their entire life, and they just met. So it's really fun to watch.
Got a couple questions for you.
Yeah. Will you do a practice Zoom session before retreat? Kim, that's a really good question, and I don't know the answer to that, but I will find out, and we will let you know for sure.
I'm pretty sure there will be. I think that's kind of how HP does it each year. Yeah.
Just so everybody's kind of on the same page.
Yep.
Are the retreat boxes shipping out around October 1st? The goal is to ship them out the first week, or the first full week of October. Same question.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so we have one more exciting thing to tell you and show you today. We have our Cyber 10 sale active now. So if you are not able to join us for FanFest, last week already or week and a half ago?
Like
we give you the opportunity to enjoy the same benefits that you would have if you had been with us in-house on that day. So Cyber 10 sale starting today, going through Monday at midnight. So when you go to the website, what you're going to see is it's sectioned off in categories. So you'll be able to go to fabrics, kits and bundles, 1 yards, 3 yards, panels, 108s, notions and accessories. Be aware that some of these are very limited in quantity, so they're gonna go super fast. A lot of this stuff's gonna go super fast. So if you are interested in getting in on the Cyber 10 sale, go on to the website, but after our show, because I got some really fun fabric to show you. And take a look at what you can get in trouble with on our website. So remember, it goes till Monday at midnight.
Got one more question. Go back to retreat stuff.
What if you want backing for the retreat quilt? Okay, so Deb, I think you can order the backing and then put a note in there that says put with my retreat box, and then Karn has been working on just putting those together. Or you can send an email to help@gequiltdesigns.com and they'll be able to help you with that.
Awesome. That's it.
Okay. So if there's no more questions, let's get to the fabric, because that is my favorite part of the show. And our first fabric line that we have is called On Your Mark by Seth Apter for Free Spirit Fabrics. And I know every time we have Seth's fabrics, they go flying out the door, because he is a very popular designer, and this I don't think will be any different. So let's start with our first one. If you're familiar with Seth, it kind of has this like aged look to it, and he has usually does some geographic, like geometry looks to it. So we've got this dark blue background with some aquas and teals and off-whites in there. And then we have a dark brown, but the nice part about his fabric line is it all kind of blends together, so it works really well. Do I really need more fabric? Of course. Yes, you do, Sandy. That's silly. Friends do not let friends not buy fabric. Karn is amazing, and we love her here. This one's really fun. I like that he will throw in some topography. So here on this one, it's got kind of those squares, but then he's got here and now, he's got letters. Very fun. Greens, also those aquas in there. A little bit of yellow. And then this one, I love this one. I love the kind of that rusty look, but then you've got some purples and yellows. kind of looks like a paint swatch, and it looks really cool on camera. And then we have this one, again with the boxes. It kind of looks like an old building, like the side of an old building, don't you think?
Yeah, I see that. Some barn patina.
Yeah,
type of
patina, that's
vibes.
the word. I was searching for that word. And this one has more of the rust color. He threw some pinks in this one. I love the color blocking on this, almost like an ombre effect to it. And then we have a typography, or type, can't remember what they call this. Letters, that's all I gotta say. Letters with this aqua and teal, which is so fun. This would be awesome on the back of a quilt. And then we have this one here, which kind of reminds me of like old stamps. But this one again has some wording on it, chances, found and gathered. It's so pretty. So much fun.
What I always think about Seth Apter stuff is, like, if you had each of these individually, it'd be like, these do not go together at all.
Right.
And then when you see it all together, it's like, wow, this is...
That's what I love about
just
it too.
works.
It works, yeah. And it just gives you kind of that artsy feel to it. So here we have the green, again, the aqua. So each one of these fabric lines has a little bit of every color, so it all just goes so well together. We're lightening up a little bit here, so we've got kind of those creams and light greens. We did actually bring in the letters in the black, so a white background with a little bit of rust. Yes, jewel would be awesome, Denise. And then the last one we have for you is, again, that kind of like bricky feel, patina, but now we've got kind of that lighter background on there. So let's look at the pull, because the pull is super fun for this one. So you just grab them. I really like to show you guys the pull as a group, because it just really brings it all together, if I can get my hands on it. So here is the pull, and look at how beautiful all that fabric looks together. Just love it.
Such a big range of colors.
Yeah. So let's start with our browns. So we've got the stash triangles. So this is really bringing out these brown colors that are in here. And then we have grunge, rum raisin. I really like this one. And then, you know, with grunge, supersize Amelie, yes. We also have quadrant, which is behind me, that is made with this specific line, which we'll show you in a minute. So rum raisin, again, I love that there's some different shades of brown in this one. And then we have crimp in the mocha. So now you're looking at adding in some of those lighter brown tan colors. Crimp in the yam. So bringing out your yellows. I love this one with it. Provisions in rose. So here it's going to pull out those pinks and some of those burgundy colors in there. Then we have dry brush and teal. So there's lots of teal in this line. We do have the assemblage in ocean as a 1 yard. So you could use this as borders. You could use it as backing, depending on what you're doing with the line. Maybe some background out of that.
Cool binding too.
Binding, yep. Crimp in the fern, so kind of grabbing some of these lighter green sagey colors. Crimp in iris, love this. This looks awesome down here with these blues. And then we have dry brush and blue black. I love the blue black and dry brush. It's just, if you don't want it to be black, but you kind of want to bring in a little bit of that blue, this is so perfect. And then we have spotted white, so that you can really get some background color out of that. And we have the eggshell in grunge. So for this fabric line, we do have it in fat quarter bundles. And we have it in littles, which you can make the little Winnie out of, you can make little Inga, you can make little Billy, all kinds of different things. And then I also picked out a wide back. And Geesley can attest because he watches me, but I saw this. I look at all the wide backs and I have to see which one goes. And I had another color in there. And as soon as I saw this graphite, I knew I had to show you guys because it would just be absolutely perfect for this fabric. So let me pull this out so you can see. Look at all the different colors that would go so well with this line. So this is a 3-yard cut of 108. So graphite is the name of this, and it would just be fantastic for this. So if you're looking for some wide backs, this would be a good one for this line. So this is On Your Mark by Sept Apter for Free Spirit Fabrics.
Such a cool looking one.
I love this. I might have to get this.
You want to talk about the quilt behind you?
Yes, I do. Okay, so I did mention this earlier, but I really want you to see, so I'm going to step aside just for a minute. This is Quadrants made out of the Stripology Squared book, and if I'm wrong, please correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. And it's made with this particular, Get Set Shop, yes, this particular line. And then also this little Winnie. And what I love about these two is it's the same fabric, but it looks totally different because of how the background colors are. Little Winnie, you're using the lighter background, and then with Quadrants, you're using kind of that darker background, and I think it's so cool. Isn't that cool? I love it.
Looks awesome.
You could also do GG, which is behind Geesley there, and I think that would be even awesome out of this fabric line. So lots of different options to use with this. So our next line is called Gleaned. And this one is by, let me just check my notes because I'm old and I can't remember anymore. Windham Fabrics, Whistler Studio, Windham Fabrics. So this kind of has it has a very fall feel to it, which I think is really fun. We're kind of settling into fall, whether I like it or not. So we have here this tan background with the green, the sage green, and the dark brown. It's not black, it's definitely more of a dark brown with the circles, so very fun, very modern look. And then we have this beautiful kind of berry color with some really dark shades to it. Oh, what am I doing?
Is that the terrain print? I think it is.
Oh, maybe. Let's see.
I think it's the Terrain by Windham.
Look at him.
Still got it.
Still got it. I love this. I love the texture in here too, which definitely makes the name perfect. And then we have this like mustardy yellow with like, looks like a little sunshine or a aster flower. And this really cool stylized flower. It has kind of this blocking look to it. It looks so cool on camera. This is a Michael fabric, and you'll say yes for sure. Diane, she's our fact checker, so if we're ever wrong, she will correct us.
Got it.
Which we love it. We love it. Here I've got this floral with the mustards, a really deep mustard, oranges and yellows in there. And then we have this one here. It's got the dots in it with the different mustards and rust colors. But here's where Michael comes in. Look at this green. How pretty is that? So again, we have like this aster or sunburst in this sage green. We also did the floral in this, and I just love the colors in here. So pretty. We did another floral in the green but we did the dark green in the background with the light sage colors on top. And now we're bringing in some of that berry color, but it's more of a rust orangey red to it. Very, very pretty. This is my favorite. If I had to pick, I'm going to open it so you can see it all the way here.
This is very much a Michael bundle.
Yeah, so much like a Michael bundle.
I
But
can
look
see
how.
him having a button-down shirt of each one of these.
Oh, yeah. I hope he's watching right now so he can hear that. But look how pretty this is.
I'm not wrong. He would agree.
He probably would agree for sure. We got these greens in here. So this print really brings all of the fabric together. And when I first started sewing, this would be a print that I would gravitate towards so that I could pick all my other fabrics from there because it gives you so much to pick from. I didn't have to think about it. So let's go ahead and put this here. And then last but not least, this brown and green, it kind of has a stemmy look to it. This would be an awesome binding, or even a small border would be cool with this one. Really just ties it all together. So this one, we do have it in a fat quarter bundle and in a littles, which I think a littles project would be so cute in this fabric line. So we have that. And let's look at our pull for this. So here's our pull pulled together, which I have it upside down, so I apologize. And then let's go ahead and look at it individually. So we have this dark brown. I had to pull out the Heima Pebbles Coffee Break. Look at how cool. If you guys have not got your hands on Heima, you need to, because it is amazing. Hopefully next week I'll bring in I did a Braid Runner Midi in Heima, and it turned out so cool. Dry brush in the wine. So we're kind of pulling out some of these berry wine colors, the deep burgundies that are in here. We have stashed triangles in the chocolate. And even though it says chocolate, it definitely has some reddish tones to it on there. We have the stash stitches in the olive. So this is going to bring out the darker greens in the fabric. We have grunge juniper. And again, when I bring this up to the camera, you can really see the different shades of color in there. And this one really just brings in all of those different greens in the fabric line. Dry brush matcha, so the light greens. We have grunge in the yam. I really like this grunge a lot.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah,
before.
this
I
one,
like that.
I love that there's a little bit of green in here, so it pulls the green from the line. And then Rainier caramel, or is it caramel? How do you say it?
I think I say caramel.
Caramel? I don't know what I say, because then when I go to correct myself, I'm thinking, well, do I say caramel or do I say caramel?
Either one.
Again, we're bringing in some of these
Tomato.
yes, different color, like mustardy colors. And then we're going to go a little bit lighter. We're going to do a crimp yam. So these ones for sure could be your backgrounds. They could be your part of your quilt, however you decide to use it. But it's always nice to have a little bit of different tones. We have the thatched and the toast. So a little bit lighter there. And we're going to go one step lighter, and we're going to go a deco stitch oatmeal and a dry brush shell. And you can see in this dry brush, there's some browns and tans in there. So it really brings, pulls everything together. I did pick out a wide back for you guys. And again, I had something picked out, and then I saw this. And I think this could not be more perfect for this fabric line. I know people get kind of weird about wanting to put a light color on the back of their quilt, but I think this works so well because there's so much going on in the top of your quilt that when you put this in there, it just kind of tones it down. So this is a 3-yard cut of a 108 Agatha Road Smoke. I don't think that's the name of this, to be honest. I think this is cream. So I need to probably check on that because I don't think the name of that is correct. But
The label.
the label might be wrong, but I want you to take a look at these beautiful florals on here, and it just will go well. It'll really make these kind of lighter colors in here. It kind of gets washed out with the camera on there. So this is your 108 that I picked out for your for Gleaned, and this is Gleaned by Whistler Studios for Windham Fabrics.
Beautiful. What else we got going on, Jody?
Well, let's see. Oh, I guess we have a question, don't we?
We do.
So, you know, sometimes it gets really hard to keep coming up with questions that are interesting and fun. So I do have a list of things that I pulled from, but this one I just thought was kind of fun. What is your idea of a perfect day?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What do you think, Mr. GP? What's your perfect day?
That's a hard question. It would definitely involve snowboarding in some kind of way. But also just having time and freedom to just not stress and hang out with family and be with my lady, and yeah.
That's
that would be
awesome.
perfect.
I love that. Well, of course, there are 3 things I love to do. Sit on a beach by the ocean. That would be a perfect day for me. Any water. Sewing in my sewing room. And listening or reading a book. And I do love my family, you guys. That would be a perfect day. But I'm thinking about myself right now, so.
That's fair enough.
Quiet and solitude. That's what I love for a perfect day. So you guys put in the comments. Keep putting it in the comments. We will pull a name next week. It doesn't matter what it is. We pull randomly anyways. So what is your idea of a perfect day? And go ahead and put it in the comments. So we kind of have a big week for shows this week. One Yard Wednesday is tomorrow. That is actually going to be with Kara and Michael, and we're going to be showing you some fantastic fabric from our Cyber Tent sale, so don't miss out on that. Perfect Pairs this week. So Kara's got a 2-dayer. She is going to be with Nancy on September 25th, and then Michael and I will be back on Happy Friday, September 26th. And then finally, we will have the OGs back. Gudrun and Mr. HP will be back here on Tuesday with a very, very, very special announcement. Ooh. I am super, super excited about this. It is so special. You guys are going to love it. So be sure to tune in next Tuesday for that. Any questions before we go?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything.
Well, thank you guys so much for being patient and joining us on this Tuesday evening, and we will see you next time. Have a great evening.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Lay your fabric here, cut it right there. Home of the Stripology, feel that vibe. Quilter's Paradise.